What's up, everybody? Welcome to our prediction show, Wrestlemania 40 XL. 40 years of WrestleMania, and we're going to talk about the 13 known matches as of this filming here, which is on Tuesday, the day after the Raw. It'll be Saturday and Sunday, our WrestleMania, where we get to watch it. But I'm not here to talk about it alone. We got our cast of characters that always do a great job of predicting these matches. And we're going to start off with the guy that's in the lead. He kind of struggled a little bit last year. This year, he's found his groove, found his rhythm. Welcome him to the show, John.
What's up, everybody?
All righty. And they missed the last show here, but they have just as good of a record as John. So we're going to find out what the European connection brings to the show. See what they've got to say. Please welcome Rob.
It's been WrestleMania 40 years in the making, and yet we get a rock in our face. Amen.
Fair enough. And of course, my boss, your boss, everybody's boss, buy his merch, Ed. All right. So to give a real quick stance on where we're at, I am at 7-7. Ed, you're at 9-6. John is at 14-2. And Rob, you are at 5-1 because you weren't on the last show, but you're still doing a good job. And if anybody the others show up, we'll get them added in here. But so, what are your guys' quick feelings about WrestleMania 40 before we start with night one? Yeah, it's WrestleMania.
Well, let's go from the European side. It will be a long night again.
Fair enough.
Long 2 nights.
All right. So, John,
actually, long 21 nights.
Okay.
21 days of wrestling.
You want to take my boot, turn it sideways, and run it up your candy ass?
Somebody's cheering for The Rock already.
No.
So when I'm going off of these, I'm going off the matches that are announced and posted on Wikipedia. So these are not necessarily in the order that the matches will appear, but these are, I'm reading them off as they are on the list. And John, we're going to start with you. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Championship.
Honestly, I like the story of how it's come along. I'm gonna probably I'm gonna sound like a broken record when it comes to all this. It's like all the matches have kind of taken a step back to the 2 main events for both nights. So I don't see how Rhea Ripley loses this match. I just don't. As much as Becky has come along and she makes you believe she's going to win, I just don't see the world where Rhea loses.
All right. Rob.
Oof. Well, like John said with the build-up, yeah. Most build-up had the 2 matches. The rest, it's slowly stacked up, but where was the big build-up? I mean, Becky Lynch fighting all over the place, and Rhea Ripley, yeah, holding the championship like whatever. It's much as it pains me to say it, but we need a new champion. We need a defending champion who's defending the championship on a more base than Rhea Ripley currently. So it pains me to say, but I go with Becky on that one.
All righty. Ed.
That was wrong. That's a lot of wrong WrestleMania. Mommy versus the man. The man is running around getting herself tired while mommy is relaxed. So I'm going with mommy.
All righty. And I'm going with Becky Lynch. And the reason I'm going with that is going to have something to do with what happens with the Judgment Day in night 2. We'll talk about that when I get there. But I think that Becky Lynch is going to win. It will not be a clean win, but she's going to get the win.
I'm here to 11,
Becky
so I will
Lynch.
get your stuff.
All righty. So, Rob, you get to start this one. Your European brother, Gunther, versus Sami Zayn.
Well, that is now a little bit different and difficult for me to say, because we are now also on the road to Bash in Berlin, and I think now it's the time. I mean, Gunther is a great Intercontinental champion. Let me rephrase this. Gunther is an awesome Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. And I think it's time that he gives up the championship to focus on the World Championship. To become champion, and when we get to Bash in Berlin, that is another story for that. But I go with Sami Zayn on that because it is time for Gunther to step up to the main event for the big gold.
Hey, by far, the highest prices is
Sami Zayn.
prescription drugs, while
All
the pharmaceutical
right.
industry
That was a
enjoys
quick pick.
huge profits. Now, Sanders.
All right. I'm going with Gunther. I think they're getting ready to take the title off of him. I just think the story is not quite there yet. I think it's going to be the Chad Gable and Sami Zayn story. Maybe the June pay-per-view, if it's still the ladder match, the Money in the Bank. I think that's probably where it's going to happen more than anything else. I don't see it happening here, but it's coming very, very soon. So I'm saying Gunther retains.
So while I understand the frustration, I think
So honestly, the way I see it, this is just like the Becky and Rhea story. The whole thing of Becky's fighting her way to get to Rhea and tiring herself out. Sammy's doing the same thing. And he hasn't looked as great. I just don't see how you take the title off of Gunther. I could see this actually happening sooner rather than later at, let's say, Raw after Mania, with Chad Gable getting his moment by beating Gunther for the title, which will start to lead that Gunther moving towards the World Championship.
All right. Do you have
Excuse me a second.
something to add there, Ed?
I don't know if it's in June or July. I have to check something. Because WWE announced a premium live event today in Europe again.
Okay. Ed, you had something you want to say?
Actually, I want to change my pick.
Okay.
I actually want to put it on Gunther because I just thought about something. I believe after the Silver rivalry is done on night one of WrestleMania, they'll give main event Jey Uso another shot at Gunther, and he'll finish what he had done the first time.
Okay. There it is. All right. And Ed, we're going to start with you on this one. You get a big six-man tag match. Judgment Day, DIY, The Awesome Truth, The New Day, A-Town Down Under, and the New Edge Republic for tag team titles in a ladder match.
All right. So, y'all listen to me on this one. Gonna have two sets of champions.
You take all my money and you waste my hard-earned cash.
Holding your SmackDown tag titles will be.
Why don't you spend a little less, be a little more responsible?
And our truth words, D-Generation X. DIY. And who will come out with the Raw tag titles? How does I want to say this?
Now you're putting congestion pricing in because you raise money to work on the MTA. None of it makes sense, and they can't ask people for any more money.
A-Town Down Under.
but they are.
Okay.
And others, they don't seem to like it. All right, up next.
All righty. So
Scotland has taken down during the
I also think they're going to split.
Squatters may not be savvy, but they
So
do get
as
some
I'm
points
reading here,
for
the stipulation, the
creativity.
match will
Please,
end
your
after
web
both
document
titles
debuts. We're
under the
trying to
undisputed
see
banner
group of
have been
residents
retrieved,
bring
making it
$1 million
possible for the
home.
titles to
Jimmy
be
Fallon
split
on that
between the
and
two
more
teams.
live at
That's what
distance.
Wikipedia says. So, I'm going to stay with that same theme. I agree. I'm thinking SmackDown is going to be the A-Town down because that's where they've been at, and I think that makes the most sense. And Raw, I don't know why I'm going to say this because it makes an interesting night after WrestleMania, but I'm going to take the Awesome Truth for Raw. All right, John.
Mayhem, did you actually look at what I wrote down?
No, I did not.
Because that's exactly what I have. I have Awesome Truth winning the Raw and A-Town Down Under winning the SmackDown. I just feel like Rhea winning her match gives her the hey, she's at least holding her end of the deal. And Damian Priest and Finn Balor failing to maintain theirs. So it's going to be an interesting thing.
All righty. And Rob, what you got?
All right. Well, my pick for the Raw title is the same as John. I think Awesome Truth will win the Raw title, but I have a different SmackDown Tag Team Champion. The New Catch Republic.
Why did I guess you were going to say that?
Well, if you want to shake things up, that's how you shake it up.
Has he missed on a European pick so far?
I would have to look back, but if he's only made one mistake,
I think he's picked everybody that's European so far. So
Actually,
this is the year of international rumbles or international pay-per-views.
yeah,
So
exactly.
Go ahead.
We got Paris.
Yeah.
After that, we got Clash at the Castle in Scotland. Then we go Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and then Berlin, Germany.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the next American pay-per-view after Mania, I think, is SummerSlam.
Yep.
All right. So I get Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. And I've gone back and forth on this one. It goes into what I've been talking about here, or what I've been thinking on this, that they need to establish that Cody Rhodes is going to be in trouble. So I'm picking Jimmy Uso, and it's not going to be a clean win. John.
I've also been back and forth on this. I have thought about the whole thing that you just talked about, where the bloodline will probably find their way to get into it. I have a feeling Jey Uso does find a way to pull it out, because I do agree. I think it was Ed who brought it up that Jay is gonna move into the Intercontinental title picture again. I just don't see him winning it right now. I think it'll be him versus Chad Gable and starting that up. But right now I'm taking Jay.
All right, Rob.
Well, I've been also back and forth with this, and I think my answer is simply said in one word. In 4 letters. Yeet.
And that means Jay because Jimmy's not Yeet. And
He's no
The
yeet.
person that wants extra
What you
leg movement. Maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build.
This is going to be a match that people won't understand the outcome and how things goes into day 2.
Exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed.
The match ends in no contest.
Ellipse does all the work for you. Call
there
now.
you go.
and order Ellipse.
I kind of debated on that one as well.
You make $500 a week.
I debated on it, but it has to do with night 2. That's the way I went.
It's that easy.
Your point actually is probably more accurate, but I'm going to stay with Jimmy. But I think yours might be more accurate. All right, John, you get the women's 6-man: Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus Damage Control, which is Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane.
I'm gonna go with the team of Bianca, Naomi, and Jade Cargill just because I don't think you're gonna showcase Jade Cargill into a match like this and have her lose. I can see it though, setting up like something for later on between maybe somebody on her team, but maybe if you want to sit there and like, here's where my dilemma is. Do you want to sit there and make Damage Control look strong going into night 2 where you're going to get Io versus Bailey, or do you want to make the face females go strong? And I'm going to take I'm taking Ed's girl Bianca and her team.
All right, Rob.
Well, I've been thinking about this since the match was announced, and they hyped up Jade pretty much on SmackDown. And then I haven't expected it to that she shows up for that moment to make the save on for Bianca and Naomi. And quite frankly, I'm picking Bianca, Jade, and Naomi because I don't see Jade losing when they hype her up like this.
All right.
Actually, Mayhem, before we go to Ed,
Yes.
I'm going to change mine to Damage Control, and I'll explain why later on.
Okay.
All right, well,
Yeah.
back here in the States, a burger from
well,
and $1 million.
like, I really don't. Well, there is a reason I could choose either side because, you know, I still got love for Asuka. She's still my girl. But, and there's a lot of but in this answer. Naomi, Bianca, and Jade. If we paid attention to Friday, all 3 of these women fared fairly well against the trio from Damage Control all by themselves. They took an umbrella, a chop to the knee, and then nothing could stop Jade. So, with that, I'm going to go with my team. I call them BGM, Black Girl Magic.
Alrighty. And I'm going to cause the big chorus of boos because my idea is probably pretty close to what John is thinking. I'm going Damage Control, specifically because Bianca Belair turns on Jade Cargill.
Stop reading my notes.
I can't read your notes. You're only 500 miles away. But yeah,
Did
I think
you?
that they brought in the big hype of her. Bianca was the big thing, and now Bianca's kind of been pushed and relegated to a I need to be saved by Jade Cargill role, and she's going to lash out. And I think a heel turn would be good for her. So that's the way I'm going. All righty. So, Rob, you get this one. The Latino World Order. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
All right. I've been thinking now since also this match was announced because, quite frankly, I don't know who to pick. I mean, I can't really get warm with this new Legado del Fantasma. I don't really feel it. Now with Dragon Lee and LWO, whatever. I'll pick LWO.
All right. Ed, what you got?
This kind of chaos is allowed.
Well, I'm looking at it like this.
And you just say to yourself, this is a waste of time.
When this match was announced and they said, when Ray said, me and a tag partner of my choosing, Carlito was excited. Carlito was ready. And then he said, the newest member of the LWO, Dragon Lee, Carlito's face changed. Carlito wasn't so happy. I think we're going to find out that Santos Escobar then got to Carlito and told him this is the same thing that happened when you joined the LWO. To me, Ray always pushes you to the side for something new and shiny. Carlito cost LWO the match. Dominic gets the win and will be the only person besides Mommy to say that they won at WrestleMania.
I'm almost in the exact same boat. So I'm going with the exact same pick, almost for the exact same reason. John?
I'm going with the same picks as well for that one. I actually am 100% in agreement with what Ed said. So that's easy.
And Ed, you get to close out night one, the one we know is the main event, the Bloodline, The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. Oop, hang on a second, sir. I had you on mute. Sorry about that.
See, this is a tough one. This is the one that I would love to say the Bloodline loses.
And this is how this dog lives its entire life.
But for everything to play out perfectly right, the Bloodline will win, which gives Night 2 Bloodline rules. But there's going to be something that happens under Bloodline rules that hurts them. So I'm going to go with the Bloodline winning Night 1.
All right. I am also going with the Bloodline because if you're going to have night 2, which what I think will happen in night 2, the babyface has to overcome a whole hell of a lot of adversity. And it almost requires Bloodline rules for Cody to finally conquer his demon and finish his story by having him win at night 2. So I'm taking the Bloodline because they need that extra obstacle. John?
I agree. The adversity is what's going to be the big key aspect to it. I don't think it's going to be as clean as, hey, it's going to be a quick match. It's still going to be drag him out, and it's going to hurt Cody and Seth going into night 2. So I could see Cody taking the pin.
All righty. And Rob, what you got, sir?
Hang on. Had a little lighting problem. Yeah. With my thought I have in my mind, I picked the Bloodline, but why I'll tell in night 2 main event.
All righty. And that means that we're done with night 1. So we're not going to have a random pick for night 1 or night 2. We'll just do one at the end that'll cover both the shows. So we're moving on now to night 2. And I get to start with Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. And I thought about this one for a while. I've kind of been on the fence that Cody's going to take the pin. I've changed my mind on that. Seth Rollins is going to take the pin in night 1. And I'm going to have Drew McIntyre defeat Seth Rollins for the title. So I take Drew. John?
I have Drew beating Seth. I think everything that happened on night 1 is going to come back and haunt Seth. I have a feeling that it may not be the end of Seth being in the Bloodline story. You could see possibly somebody like maybe say Solo interfering. I don't know if they will have The Rock interfere in that match, especially with a match later on that night. So I'm gonna take Drew, but it's not gonna be a clean match. I think there will be shenanigans involved in that match.
Fair enough. Rob?
All right. That's where my bonus pick comes in for a moment. I'll pick Drew McIntyre to win, but here's my bonus pick. Damian Priest cashing in and winning the championship.
Well, all right. And Ed?
Fundraiser, maybe Madison Square Garden, maybe Yankee Stadium.
See, I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about it very well. I partially agree with Rob, and that's what his bonus pick. Damian Priest will cash in and become champion, but it's because Seth squeaks by and retains the title. Because after retaining the title, he is going to be a broken down, beaten man, prime for the picking.
All right. My bonus pick was going to be exactly what Rob said, and it's going to start a program with Drew and Damian Priest. That's what I was thinking. So that's where I was going, but it's okay. So, John, you get this one. Io Sky versus Bayley for the Women's Championship.
As much as I would love Io Sky to win the match, because I think she could use it more than Bayley could, I'm going with Bayley just because how the story has grown. It may like I said, night 1, I feel like Damage Control is going to look strong, and then all of a sudden it's just going to be like that's the first pillar to fall is the SmackDown Women's Championship or World Championship for whatever it is now. I just think Bayley will win.
All right, Rob.
I'll pick Bayley because, like John said, the evolvement of the story. And also, they put up now a little bit of a more face Bayley in her current state, and I kind of like it. And I think it should go on with the face Bayley in that moment.
All righty. And Ed, what do you have,
booming,
sir?
CRB, gold booming, oil, West Texas 85, but Brent.
I think I'm going against the grain.
So you got
I never thought I was going to say this. As much as I love Bayley's booty, I'm going to go with the Empress to the Sky, Io Sky, which is going to start the friction. Well, it's not going to start the friction. It's going to start the title change that I want to see, where Bianca and Naomi go after the tag titles, and Jay goes after the women's title. Therefore, Io Sky wins, and BGM goes on finally to take the title off of Damage Control.
All righty. I'm also going with Io Sky. I think Bailey needs to be beat down a little bit more to finish her face turn. And that's going to come in the form of Damage Control. I think she's going to kind of get picked up a little bit. Maybe somebody like Liv Morgan comes down. I don't know. But I don't see at this point Bailey needs the belt. I think she needs to finish her transition away from Damage Control, and winning the belt and setting up more matches with them really, to me, doesn't spell money to me. So I'm going with Io Sky. All righty. And so, Rob, you get this one. LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
Great build-up. I have to say, great build-up. If you saw the body cam of the police, which WWE got from the build-up, it was great. I couldn't stop laughing at the footage, and but how the match will end? I think I'm gonna pick LA Knight. Yeah.
Okay. And Ed.
I wanna give it to the phenomenal. No, I can't give it to the phenomenal because they didn't work too hard to build LA Knight up. He needs the signature win over that big name. So I'm gonna follow Rob and say the mega star, LA Knight.
All righty. So I hate to admit this. I have found the build-up for the most part underwhelming. This match has kind of been lost with the Bloodline story. It's been lost with the tag team's title build-up. It's been lost with the Judgment Day. This match has kind of been lost. And while I'm not a huge fan of LA Knight, he has the potential to be a good breakout star. AJ Styles, I think, is slowing down a little bit, although he shouldn't be. They're pretty close to the same age, but he's slowing down a little bit. I'm going with LA Knight, but I really, really want to say that this match was the no contest match of the night for me, but I'm going to go with LA Knight. John.
I'm going to agree. I just don't like they've built LA Knight up to this point. Like Ed has said, he needs that signature win to put him a little more over and put him into, say, the United States United States title picture. I don't. I think they pushed him a little too quick to get to the world title picture. I don't see him in there anytime soon, just because there's probably gonna be other people that are gonna be in the line first. I'm gonna go LA Knight as much as I don't want to. I have to agree with Mayhem. Like, I was excited when I first saw this because I was like, okay, AJ usually puts on great matches. The whole, like, LA Knight's been moving to the right direction on things after like a slow start to WWE, and then it's like they just dropped this, and like, yes, they sometimes put not having it always on screen is a good thing, but this is one of those that when you have other stories that are overtaking it, you need to put this one a little more on screen, and I'm not as excited anymore. Like this has like overall as a show, this is probably this could be up there with last year's WrestleMania, which could have been up there with maybe the best WrestleMania, bar the last 5 minutes of the main event of night 2. So I'm going LA Knight. I'm not happy about it, but I'm going LA Knight.
All righty. And Ed, you're going to get this one. The U.S. title match. It's Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens.
So they just give her and she was free. But now
Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and KO.
she can beat people off of her.
Triple threat. Champion doesn't have to get pinned to lose the title. But how about we say Captain Loophole by hook or crook, your winner, and still United States champion, Logan Paul.
All righty. I'm kind of in the same boat. This is the first time, there's a lot more to the Logan Paul story. His prime is going to be on all pay-per-views in the middle of the ring now. I think they're going to celebrate that win a little bit more. They're going to tease the hell out of it that Randy Orton is going to land that RKO. But I think as he goes to land for that RKO, I think we're going to see the old Randy Savage punch from Logan Paul, who's got the brass knucks, and gets the pin. So I'm also going Logan Paul. John.
I'm going Logan Paul. I'm going Logan Paul. I just think on Friday we're going to start seeing friction between KO and Randy Orton because we haven't seen it yet. Going into this, it's a triple threat match. You're not going to have 2-on-1 going in a triple threat match for a title. So I'm expecting to see friction starting out on Friday and then going into WrestleMania. And then during the match, I just see they'll start out together, which has a reminiscence of what WrestleMania 26, where the dissolve of Legacy, and it's gonna have a kind of a feel like that, and then somehow I agree Logan Paul's gonna find like weasel his way to get a victory because of it. I'm guessing it's gonna be a stunner from Owens, and then Owens is gonna get knocked out by Logan, and then Logan's gonna go for the pin.
All right, Rob.
Yeah, I thought I thought about that a little bit. I have a little bit of a crazy thought in my mind. Triple threat match, it's clear. During the match, Orton KO fight. Okay. End of the match. A-Town Waller coming in, trying to interrupt in the match. Both get some from RKO. Yeah. You know how I mean it. Then Logan Paul comes in with brass knuckles, knocks Randy Orton out. Owens, he tries to knock Owens out too, but Owens is a little bit faster. Stunner, 1, 2, 3. Owens, new champion.
Interesting. All righty. And I get to start this one. The Pride. Bobby Lashley, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford with B-Fab against the Final Testament. Karrion Kross, Akam, and Razor with Scarlett and Paul Ellering. They have not made, let me look at that name again, The Pride. Look very good.
I can tell you're very thrilled about this, by the way.
Awful. It is a horrible name. this is probably the popcorn match as they get ready for the 1 hour long shenanigans that is the main event. And because I think this is probably the semi-main, I'm going with the Final Testament. John.
This is worse. This is going to be worse. Probably one of the worst WrestleMania matches of all time. Saying it now. It's supposed to be what, a Philadelphia street fight or whatever it is. So, it probably won't be the worst because it's going to be entertaining to the fans. Um, they pretty much didn't put Bobby Lashley on WrestleMania last year. They gave him the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal trophy. I think this is the year where, yes, this is like another slap to the face that they're not using Bobby Lashley where I guess they should. Um, so I think they finish it once and for all in a Philadelphia street fight and beat Final Testament.
So who are you taking? Taking the Pride?
I'm taking the Pride.
All right. Rob.
May the colors fly.
Well, that match is. How should I say it? It is my. Yeah. I can't even say it properly without something. I know I have to use that one. It will be my spray match of the night.
There you go.
Oh.
Dude,
Because
come on, Rob, you're not supposed to do a mayhem. Let mayhem be mayhem.
I got the okay from Mayhem. I'm German. I'm the raising German. I have to do something. Just
No,
kidding.
you're our resident secondary German.
Wunderbar. What you got?
Yeah. I don't really care about this match. I haven't since they start this whole thing, and I still don't care. And to hell with it, no contest. I don't want to deal with this match.
Okay. No contest in a street fight. Ed's kind of giving his opinion as well. So who do you got, Ed?
Oh, he done talking?
Yeah.
Okay. Street fight. Does everybody think this would be the Final Testament's wheelhouse? Unfortunately, it's not. We're gonna find out where chaos ensues. The prophets will prevail. So I'm going with the Pride.
All right. All righty. And John, you get to start this one here. The main event. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Stipulation to be determined.
So I want to, before I go into the main event, I want to put something in everybody's thought process because I was just thinking about it as everybody was talking. Wouldn't it be interesting? This could be the time where they split the Street Profits. Give Montez Ford that little oomph to put him into the singles title reigns and pushing him as a singles competitor because he has that talent. Give him that mean streak and just let him go against, like, let him demolish Angelo Dawkins for a bit, put him up against Bobby Lashley. Putting him up against Bobby Lashley can catapult him to, say, a U.S. title picture, a world title picture in the future. So that could be a little sneaky thing where they can go, you know what, we're gonna give this because if I remember right, every single time that the Final Testament versus Lashley and the Street Profits has ended in pretty much a clean match. Yes, you're making this now a street fight, but wouldn't it be that more interesting, turning Montez Ford against them?
No.
I think it would. It's something different. It gives like they haven't used the street and the reason why I'm saying it is because they haven't used the street profits correctly. They haven't put like it's like watching when Enzo and Cass had all this big pop. Granted, Enzo and Cass sucked in the ring, but they had all this big pop from the crowd. They didn't really use them. The Street Profits is the same way. They have this big pop from the crowd, but they have they haven't really done anything. Nothing that's going to make you go, hey, but you can see you have a pure athlete in Montez Ford, and you could push him and let him do his thing. Because that, what was it? Him and Bianca have their own show that talks about, hey, he goes, he's trying to find his place. He's like, because she's the big star of the females division, but he's not there. Like he hasn't been there, and it's frustrating him. So I think that could be coming. It may not be at WrestleMania, but I have a feeling it will come.
All right. And meanwhile, the main event.
Main event. Ooh. Does WWE say sorry to the fans? Because we already said, I think we all are in agreement that night one that the Bloodline will win the match. Night two is
Yes,
going to
we
be.
all agreed that.
So night two, we're going to go into Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns in a Bloodline rules match. Yes, we're going to have shenanigans. Yes, we're going to have the Bloodline interfering. If you don't pull the trigger on Cody winning now, then when are you going to do it? I know we said that last year. If you don't do it then, and then after WrestleMania, it was like, okay, where was this going? And so I'm interested. I think Cody does pull it off this time around.
All righty. Rob.
Yeah. Night two. Also, with my prediction, it is Bloodline rules, but I remember the words Cody said in his promo after the Rumble. He will take everything from Roman Reigns. And we get a big swerve on that night because Cody takes the championship and Roman is the one who loses everything because The Rock is interfering in this match and betrays Roman Reigns.
Interesting.
Big swerve on that moment.
All right. Ed, you usually have a lot to say about these matches.
Now, this is where everything comes to fruition. So I want y'all to pay attention to what I said. Night one, brother versus brother, no contest.
Yep.
Main event, Bloodline wins. So, of course, Bloodline rules means anything can happen.
Right.
Which means anybody and everybody can come down and interfere in this match. It doesn't matter who you are. So, you get Jimmy coming out, you get Jay coming out. Think about to battle each other.
Mm-hmm.
Double super kick to Solo. Like you said, Cody said, I'm going to take any and everything away from you. So it's just not the title. We need everything. So we take Solo out of the way. Now the only thing you got that can help you is the wise man and the final boss. The final boss who evolves back to being the people's champ by taking a wise man and taking him all the way away from the match where it's now 1-on-1. Tribal Chief versus the American Nightmare. Roman, prove you can win a match. because everything is taken away from you. Now, Cody, 3 crossroads. Matter of fact, this WrestleMania 40. Let's make it 4 crossroads. And your new champion, Cody Rhodes, finishing the story.
Yep. All righty. So I'm also going with Cody Rhodes. And as I said in night one, the reason I picked Jimmy Uso to win is because Jey Uso is going to come down with the chair. I like the idea of the Usos getting back together. I find that pretty interesting. But my thought process was Jey Uso came down maybe with somebody new that's working with him. Who knows? But he's going to destroy everybody and even screw Roman Reigns over to allow Cody to get that final win. So I'm taking Cody Rhodes. All righty, now it's time to figure it out. Rob, we're going to start with you here. I got everybody. So Rob, we're going to start with you. It's your prediction of thing that isn't going to happen. So you're still sticking with Drew or that Damian Priest cashes in, correct?
I'm staying with Senor Money in the Bank cashing in.
Okay. All righty. And Ed, your final prediction.
Our special guest commentator costs Drew McIntyre the match.
Who's the special guest
CM Punk.
Punk. Okay. All righty. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Well, I was going to go with the Damian Priest cashing in. I still like that idea. I'm going to go with to get them a payday on the show. LA Knight is assisted by the Good Brothers to beat AJ Styles. John.
I've been just thinking about this. Didn't WWE just sign another member of the what is it, Anawahi family? Somebody that just came from New Japan Pro Wrestling. What was his name? What was his name? Ah, Tamatanga? No.
Tamatonga.
Yeah, they just signed him. Wouldn't it? Now this isn't going to be my final one because I have something different for that. But wouldn't it be interesting? Bloodline rules. Jay comes down. I do like the tag idea with Jay and Jimmy. Jay and Jimmy getting back together. But who's gonna take yes, them super kicking Solo would be a great thing. But wouldn't it be funny if he makes his debut in WWE taking out Solo? That would be interesting. My pick, I was gonna go with Damian Priest will not cash in at WrestleMania.
Oh.
But since somebody already did Money in the Bank, I'm not gonna double tap on that because then it's like, well, he said yes, I say no. I'm gonna go with Bianca Belair pulls a big show from WrestleMania 29, and she turns on both Jade Cargill and Naomi, but she doesn't attack Jade Cargill. She attacks Naomi.
Okay. All right. I said that in there that I thought she was going to turn as well, which is why I picked Damage Control. So it's an interesting pick. We're going to find out what's going to happen here. So make sure you tune in. WrestleMania Night 1 is on Saturday night. Check your local time here. I'm not off the top of my head, remembering when it starts. I think it starts at 7 Eastern, 6 Central.
I think the pre-show starts at like 5 Eastern, something like that. It's like
it's a 2-hour pre-show.
Like
and
if
then
you're
night 2 on Sunday.
My thought is if you're gonna have a 2-hour pre-show, why don't you do night 1, like skip having the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on SmackDown.
1 hour?
Is it 1 hour? I thought it was 2 hours.
Ed just held up one finger.
You got to think about this. Night 1 of WrestleMania is also Stand and Deliver. So Stand and Deliver comes on before WrestleMania.
Yeah, but that's in the morning. That's actually morning. That's at 11. Yeah, I think that starts at 11. So that the pre-show starts at 10.
So Stand and Deliver is
because it's
So according to Wikipedia, the event will air WWE live streaming WrestleMania weekend taking place the same day as night 1 with a special start time of 11:30 a.m. Eastern.
10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Wait, that means
5
5:30
p.m. They have 3 hours. Then you get a couple hours. You get a couple hours to do whatever you're gonna do on Saturday, and then pre-show starts at 5 p.m. So what you could do is night 1 of like what they could have done. Night 1 kickoff show, Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Give the fans something to watch other than just them talking for 2 straight hours. Then night 2, do a female battle royal. Because I kept hearing rumors of a China, China battle royal, something for the Ninth Wonder of the World, or whatever it was going to be called. And then do a female one on night 2. Or reverse them, do the female one night 1, and then night 2, all both on the kickoff show. They take up enough time. Takes an hour, and then you have an hour to talk about matches.
Battle Royal takes about 20 minutes.
Okay, fine. 20 minutes, cool. You have an hour and a half to sit there and talk with commercial breaks in between.
Alrighty, well, I'm not against the idea. The problem is Battle Royals are kind of boring, and that's kind of why they moved it. Because it's really hard to make a Battle Royal interesting.
That's why it's on the kickoff show.
And that's fair. All right, so we're going to find out how everybody does. Everybody did, so make sure you tune in, watch some WrestleMania, enjoy some great wrestling action, some meh wrestling action, and see if your predictions are correct. We'll see you next time. Wow, it's taking forever to sign off.
I was going to go with MJF not appearing at WrestleMania because that's everybody's guess is that he's going to show up and cost Cody the match at WrestleMania in night 2.
Come on, end the stream.
Like seriously,
we're still on air.
Oh, I know. I literally had.
Good, I'm unmuted now.
I had my sleeper picks were the tag titles would be split, but we all pretty much technically said the titles are going to get split.
No, you
I had MJF will not be at WrestleMania or in WWE at all. I had John Cena and Stone Cold will not be involved with either main event matches. And then I did Bianca Belair will turn on Naomi to set up a feud.
My other bonus pick was Tonga debuts, but I picked with Money in the Bank.
And my last one. Damian Priest will not cash in at WrestleMania. Was my last one on my list.
Damian Priest cashes in, but it's gonna start it's gonna show the breakup of the Judgment Day.
I think they've already started that though.
No, I mean it's going to be a total split. Like
Are we still going?
yeah, so like with my